Well, chilly night walking down Barrack Road here, but we're not going into St James's Park. We're into the Stack because there's a big fan event on. I'm going to bring you everything that's going on there, so watch along.
It'll be a good examination of your knowledge. I think you'll do rather well. I'm sure you will. I'm going to thank them all individually. Give those a round of applause individually. So, firstly, Chief Commercial Officer Peter Silverstone. Chief Financial Officer Simon Capper. Brad Miller, the Chief Operating Officer at Newcastle United. Big thank you to Sporting Director Paul Mitchell. And let's hear it once again for the Newcastle United CEO, Darren Eales. Rob Lee. We wish you well in your search for a new club, but we hope that your schedule allows you to come back to St James's Park and to come back to see us at Newcastle United as often as possible. Papis Cisse.
Well, away from the wonderful atmosphere down there at the Stack, back outside St James's Park, a little recap on what exactly we did see tonight and what we heard from the key figures on the stage. Thought it was a great gesture by the club. You look back in all the times of lockdown when there was virtually no communication at all from the previous owners, and even on the back of lockdown when new owners come in, if you remember, it was all online, but this was a little bit more face to face. We've obviously had them in the boardroom, but at Stack, that was the first opportunity for Newcastle's sort of heads of department to have a sort of public facing audience. You know, and if we're talking about what was said in there, probably the big headline for me was Brad Miller's words, talking about what's behind me, this wonderful stadium that we've got here, St James's Park, has been the pride of Newcastle for many years, many decades, and you know, Brad Miller's key role here is about the stadium, the project going forward. Do Newcastle stay here? Do they modernise what we've got behind us, or do they move stadium? And that was exactly the question that he asked the supporters in the building there. And for me, that was the first time we've actually heard in words from someone of authority, basically Brad Miller in there saying we've looked at moving stadium, we've looked into what a new stadium might look like. Those were the exact words that he said in there tonight. And he also had a show of hands. He put the question to the audience. He said, would you like to stay here at St James's Park, or would you like to move to a new stadium? And the show of hands went up to move stadium, and that was significant for me, and it surprised me a little bit. It surprised the people that I was with, but ultimately Newcastle United moving stadium, somewhere not far from here was the term that was used. Nothing's concrete yet, nothing's guaranteed, and nothing will be done without the consultation of the supporters. But to hear that in words tonight from somebody in authority, I thought was a big thing. Ultimately, Newcastle moving stadium increases PSR. PSR was the second biggest theme of the night. If you're looking at an old school back page, the back page lead would have been about the stadium, and the support story would have been about the PSR, and the plea from Paul Mitchell basically saying every pint you buy in here, every beer you drink is going into my transfer kitty. And I thought that was really telling. So some big things discussed. We have the legends on the stage as well. Rob Lee, Papi Cisse, Shola Miobi. You'll be seeing what they had to say in the next few days, I'm sure. But what a great night. And ultimately for me, as I say, the screaming headline from it was about the stadium. It looks like Newcastle United are going to put a proposal to supporters about potentially moving ground. And that is absolutely earth-shattering news, in my opinion, in the life of a Newcastle United reporter. So that's what I learned from it tonight. Let's see what develops in the coming weeks and months.